St. Brown the Trojan proudly presents a recap of America's pastime. Oakland Athletics are on to the World Series. After the crazy start to their season, the Rays came back down to earth this May when they went 17-12 over the month. Why are they here? Injuries have held this team back a bit, but they are still serious contenders. Don't write them off because of hospital bills. Up next for the Rays, Boston, Minnesota, and Texas. Three teams that are tougher than they look. This team is quite interesting. They've played up to great challenges, beating the Rays in the series, but they've also played down the competition, losing a series to the Guardians and splitting with the Angels. I'm not sure if they really played up to great challenges or played down the competition, but I'll go with that. This is a team that no one believes in, not even Oral fans. I do, however, believe in these guys, expecting them to make a wild card in the near future. Up next, Giants, Brewers, Royals, and Blue Jays. In the start of May, this team played like they did in April. Then they split a series with Tampa Bay. And then they surged, winning every series after that except for the Baltimore Orioles one. How did they do that? Well, for one, Court is back in session in the Bronx, as Judge Aaron has hit 18 home runs so far and is projected to hit 49 as of right now. Far from record-breaking, but very respectable for sure. Up next for the Yanks, the Dodgers and a pair of Sox series. One white, one red, in that order. How'd you go from competitors to near last in the division? I mean, thanks for making the Rays' life a lot easier, but you made me look like an idiot in the process. They did suffer a 13-18 stretch, which is not bad considering most of that was against division games. But the competition in this division is just way too stiff. Up next for the Blue Jays, Mets, Astros, and Twins. Those will either be confidence boosters or death. This team had a 6-game winning streak to start the month and split a 2-game series with Atlanta. And they also got swept by the Cardinals and Angels. This team makes absolutely no sense. Enjoy more not-so-serious baseball with this pair of Sox. They are fun, but they won't win a pennant ever. And they face the Rays and the Yankees up next. So get ready for a perennial disappointment. A small update to their logo happens to be the most interesting thing about this slide. Oh yeah, the Twins suck. Be glad you're in a crappy division because you would be bottom feeders in any other division, especially if it was the AL East. Up next for them, Cleveland, Tampa Bay, and Toronto. Said as part of the Washington Nationals part last week, this team won a series against the Mets. Absolute lol. This is a very bad division that allows the Tigers to be second. Don't expect it to last for long, though. Miguel Cabrera is in his last season, though, just saying. Up next for you guys, White Sox, Phillies, Diamondbacks, and Braves. The worst team name in baseball, the Cleveland Guardians, had a mediocre month, going 12-15 in May. This team finally learned how to hit the ball, thankfully, but their pitching skills went with it. The absolute definition of mediocrity. Up next, Twins, Red Sox, Astros, and Padres. You should win at least 3. Now here's an absolute piece of dirty laundry. This team somehow went 16-14 over the month, mostly against their own division. But they are still way back in the divisional standings. The division is so terrible, it allows the White Sox of all teams to compete. That's a problem. Up next, Tigers, which is probably finished by now. The Yankees, Marlins, and Dodgers for this team. Hey, folks, want to see how bad the Athletics are, but they're too far away to see? Well, watch the Kansas City Royals. They're basically the same thing, and they lost a series against the Athletics. At least they can say their wins are in the teens. This team actually won 1 game against a team I would consider good. There were only 2 whole series they played against good teams that could qualify, Orioles and Brewers, but still. Up next for these guys, Rockies. Again, that series should be finished. Marlins, Orioles, and Reds. Well, Texas Rangers, you're still leading the division by 3, huh? And you guys won every series you played this month except for the Braves. Impressive. This is no flash in the pan. This team's for real. I expect this team to be fighting for a wild card by September. Up next, Mariners. Again, should be finished by now. Cardinals, Rays, and Angels. The Houston Astros. This team would have looked as well as it could have been if it wasn't for the Twins taking 2 out of 3 at the end of the month. But that's still really good. This team is not their 2022 edition, that's for sure. I still expect them to win the division, though. Again, don't gloat, folks. They'll be back on top of the division soon. The Angels still have a winning record somehow, even though they should really be flopping away in the bottom of the division. 4th, though, because of the Athletics. One look at the schedule and you can tell it was complete garbage this month. Just please stop wasting Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout's careers and trade them, please. Up next for you guys, Astros, Cubs, Mariners, and Rangers. The Seattle Mariners. This team did decent. The only series they shouldn't have lost was at Boston, but they can't get any quality series wins. The Mariners seem to be in a state that 76ers and Vikings have been for a while now. Good, but not good enough. Up next for you guys, Rangers, Padres, Angels, and Marlins. Can you win at least 6? Now this team is a team that exists. Truly one of the teams of all time. Oh yeah, and they're moving to Las Vegas. This team is still sad and they're still moving to Las Vegas. No crazy series upset will convince me otherwise. Up next for you guys, tears. Just tears. I'm not quite in the mood to talk about Atlanta Braves baseball right now. So why don't I give this microphone to a Mets fan and look at his opinion, even though that's impossible. Well, take it away. Well, I'm convinced this team is going to crash and burn. When you lose a series to the Athletics, you're done. You're just done. Give the Mets the division title now. They deserve it more than these losers. Okay, I think you're done. Hey, I still have more to say. Too bad. Up next for the Braves, the Diamondbacks, Mets, and Nationals. Please don't choke this. This team makes absolutely no sense to me. They take the Rays series by sheer luck, but drop both Rockies series. What kind of team loses to the Colorado Rockies twice? We Braves fans are very lucky you guys are a mess, or else we'd be dead in the water. It's not even hitting anymore. It's the pitching that sucks. I guess the get washed up old dudes to lead team and overinflate confidence strategy only works for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, huh? Up next, a Toronto series that should be done by now. Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and the other New York team. This team is strangely good at one-run games at 16-4. And this division is pretty much floundering, so Marlins going to the division lead? It could happen. This team has lost a few easily winnable series, however, against the Rockies, Cubs, and Reds, however. I don't think that's happening. Up next, Athletics, which again should be done. Royals, White Sox, and Mariners. This team might actually be awful. They got blown out a ton and they got swept by the Giants of all teams. This team needs some real help. Up next for this team, Nationals. I really should have posted this a day earlier. The Tigers, the Dodgers, and the Diamondbacks. This is the Nationals. Are you impressed yet? I don't think this team is going to compete for anything other than 4th place in the division. And they're lucky that's even a thing to compete for. This is a time for prospect developing. Up next for them, Phillies, Diamondbacks, Braves, and Astros. Hey, is anyone going to tell the Brewers that they kind of fell apart in secret? They went 9-16 over the last month, yet they still took the division lead. The Pirates are garbage, so the Brewers kind of took the division by default. Just don't think you'll cruise to the division title by any means. Up next for them, Reds, Orioles, and Athletics. The Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, they're in the second slot of the division, so what do you think happened? Boy, did reality hit you in the face. Not only did you lose the NL Central lead, but you guys also went 9-18 over May. You know what that means. Pirates going to the trash can, baby. Let's look at the good things that the Cincinnati Reds did over this month. They had a 5-game winning streak that saved them from last in the division. They won a series against the Marlins? That's all I have. They really saved themselves from last in the division with that 5-game winning streak. Third place in the NL Central is going to be a dogfight in which I have no dog to fight with. Up next are them, Brewers, Dodgers, and Cardinals. At least you'll win one, right? Right? The Cardinals had a randomly good stretch this month, 14-6, that basically carried them to 4th place in the division for this month. Otherwise, it's just more bad baseball. Honestly, the crazy season from last year was the last chance for the Cardinals with that roster. Now, they're feeling the effects of their fallout. Up next for the Cards, the Pirates, who, spoiler alert, swept them, Rangers, Reds, and Giants. The Chicago Cubs, surprisingly, are last in the division. Not the team I thought would take last in the division for this month. They had a poor month, honestly. Combine that with the random Cardinal surge, and they are last for the month. I am not sure how this team took a series against the Rays. Up next for you guys, Padres, Angels, and Giants. I hope you guys like the Pacific Ocean because you're gonna get a lot of it. Nice combining of words back there. Me. Thank you, me. You're welcome, me. Anyway, the Dodgers and Diamondbacks are going to be neck and neck for the division. Right now, though, it's the Dodgers. These guys are playing some good baseball right now. I still don't see a World Series out of this team, however, until you can prove it to me that you can win. Up next for you, Yankees, Reds, Phillies, and Giants. This team had 2 really good stretches of baseball, going 9-2 in 11 games, and a 4-game winning streak that, spoiler alert, turned into 6 by June. And boy, did this team come out of nowhere. They went from 52 and 110 in 2021 to fighting for the division in 2023. I expect this team to be a decent playoff contender. Up next for you guys, Braves, Nationals, Tigers, and Phillies. Talk about flipping the script. The San Francisco Giants went from a resounding ew at the start of May to at the end of May becoming an absolute, historic, resounding eh. Their bats and gloves managed to get good at the right time for the wins. For the losses, though, not so much. I'm assuming every team is like this. Up next, Orioles, Rockies, Cubs, and Cardinals. Did you really think the Blue Jays were the only team that made me look like an idiot? Just take a look at these goofballs. They crashed and burned against the Royals and Red Sox. Way to make me look like an idiot, Padres. Look at me acting like I have a dignity to protect. Stupid. There was one horrendous 10-game stretch where they went 1-9. The lone win was the Royals, too, so you know how quality their opponents were. Up next for them, Cubs, Mariners, and Rockies. Well, look who finally learned how to hit the ball. Good for you, Colorado. Unfortunately for you, your pitchers still suck. This has made you the second worst in runs allowed, 328, only behind the Oakland Athletics, 411. Disgusting. Up next, maybe the flattening of the Rockies in Colorado? I don't know. And that is all for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, ring the bell, and don't forget about John 3:16. And I'll see you next time. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creature. The old things passed away, behold, new things have come.